When we look at the social media, the crypto, Twitter, and elsewhere, it feels like the market has been shaken. Majority didn't see that drop coming. We had the thought process shared clearly saying this is one of the biggest possibility, especially on the micro movement. Now, Bitcoin completed that leg. What should be the next one? This is going to decide where the market goes further from here. So this is a Bitcoin chart in front of you, and you're watching that this micro trend line which started in May. So you have the entire May and till this point of June. We're still above that micro trend line. The catch here is the micro charts doesn't show you that the price is about to bounce off. However, if you do zoom a little bit out, take your readings all the way back from September, October 2023, now you're developing something like this, which shows the next support, the major support, should be close to 66. Now, do you think the price is about to drop further to the downside, or it's about to bounce back? Because whatever Bitcoin does, alts are going to do double of that. XRP dropped a huge long wick to the downside, coming back to 0.449. Remember, we had the discussion here a few days back about this was a long wick to the downside, and we never retested that, right? So if you go back in XRP, you are watching previous long wicks and a retest happening. Not the exact bottom for sure, but it tries to come back down before it goes up. So if we put that on the macro chart, what do we see? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, what you're watching in the market is this. It's clear that the short-term movement in the market was showing you this possibility. Remember, the discussion which we had here on the Ether chart was clearly highlighting you the fact that it was showing you a hanging man. It then showed you a hammer pattern, which was not invalidated. And right now it stands true, the price pushed to the downside. Now, why is the price not dropping back down to 2000? If you zoom a little bit out on the same chart, use a weekly. This is what you're watching on Ether. A weekly chart on Ether shows you the major breakout candle which you had on the 20th May that week. You're still at that range. You haven't invalidated that range. Now, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I want you to just use the price and RSI, or say price and MACD, whichever you choose. So here we are. We're taking price to the MACD. If you do look at the MACD here, before the MACD crossed, or at that point of cross, you always have these kind of drops. Just before that, just after that, the price does these kind of move. Now, the precise timing of that usually correlates or goes hand in hand with the weekly close, weekly MACD cross, the 3-day MACD cross, the daily. I'll show you what I mean. So if you do look at this all these times, say when it's crossing to the downside, just after the cross, instead of going further down, it bounced off. Now, if you look at the opposite, just at that time when it was about to cross to the upside, it went down. That is market manipulation. So when you see $10 billion shorts on Bitcoin, That's financial institution we are talking about. That's whales who really want to manipulate the price. Now, why are they shorting the market? They buy Bitcoin from somewhere else or borrow it. They put it in the market, short it. When the price comes down, they need to buy it back and give that borrowed units back to where they borrowed from. So they're going to cover their shorts and the price is going to bounce back. But the thought process of the price is going down to zero is the trouble. That's the troublemaker of the market. So if you take Bitcoin and put it on a weekly chart and ask yourself an easy question. Now, again, I want you to look at what happened historically, not once, again and again and again, on a weekly or on a monthly, whichever you prefer, and ask yourself, okay, what's happening right now? So here you are, you're watching that the RSI is trying to go back into the overbought region on a weekly chart. So the last time this happened, it was like 29 Jan, the week which started there. And if you look at the price action at that time, oh, you were going through a hell of chop. The price went to like 49,000, then dropped back to 37,000. It was a drama. But what happened after that? The price went up to 74. Now say you go back again, you look at the previous time when the RSI entered 70 plus on a weekly. Just when it was entering there, you saw another drama. The price dropped a little bit, right? Now, you can go back test this as much as you want each and every time in history. You're going back, right? I've taken almost everything possible and dropped it in the SI family on the weekly, on the monthly. So you guys already know what I'm talking about. But the major thing you need to understand is until the monthly says it's done, this game is not done. Or at least until the weekly gives you a negative divergence, it's not done. Either a hidden bearish divergence or directly a negative divergence, a bearish divergence. You need to watch that. Now, take that perspective onto XRP. This is that trend line on which we are flirting for an extended period of time. Now, we're still on that trend line. We haven't moved to the upside. We didn't break that to the upside. Rather, this short-term pattern is now being broken to the downside. So if you put that into perspective, you're now arguing we are at the bottom part of the support zone. If you get this correctly, that means on a macro chart for XRP, we'll put that on a weekly. This is exactly what you're watching. Now, for you, me, and anyone who is looking at this asset and saying, okay, I'm so bullish on the utility of this asset, you're now looking at this range as a possible, on a weekly, as a possible checkmate pattern for which the price should go back up to test 0.6, 0.7. But yes, we already know the fact that if we do break 0.61, 0.62, that's a heavily bullish indicator, which again means something. The whales in this asset is way more manipulative than Bitcoin, than Ether. Because the moment you zoom out and you're looking at this, you're like, whoa, 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 that's a hell lot of chop just after that pop on July 23. You're still in that range. Nothing changed. So it's almost a year now and the price didn't move up or down. It's testing your patience to that end. And while at the same time you're watching other assets in the market going up. So this is where you need to think about your exposure to one asset or a group of assets or different segments of assets. This is one of the reasons why over the last 6 months to a year, I've been talking about this. And you are already watching a lot of different segments popping through. Use it for your advantage. And if you're looking for the charts for the same, There's a long list of those assets which are going to the FOMO, right? We posted that in the SI family. If you want to participate there with 1,000+ members, use the link in the description below. And guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, I request, please do that. Now, before I conclude, remember, when the price action shows you I'm going higher, the weekly showing the MACD is about to cross to the upside with the MACD volume already being on the upside, that's a lot of bullish sign. Because say last time here, while the price was choppy, there's Ether on a weekly showing you that May, June, July 2023, you never got that positive move to the upside on the MACD volume. It was always to the downside. Here we are on a weekly, we are almost at that weekly close. And it's now to the upside. Fine, now let's look at the price to volume. Does the 3-day volume agree? Does the daily volume agree? That kind of a thing. So the last one showed you there was still bulls active in the market. Today it shows you they stepped out. So that's a 3-day chart. Now we go on a daily. You're looking at this clearly saying, okay, there was some bullish action or bulls who entered the market. The price didn't move much. Fine. What does that mean? Because the higher time frame structure always matters. That amount of big bullish volume on the Ether weekly push the price up, and you usually have a couple of retest candles. So that's one of the reasons why we've been discussing about the pattern formation here in Ether, which would actually affect the altcoin market. So when you are looking at the altcoin market with that kind of a comparison with Ether on one side and the altcoin market on the other side, this is what you are literally watching. Say this is an altcoin chart excluding Ether on a 3-day. If you want to put that on a weekly, it's completely fine. We'll use a weekly. If you do watch the last 3 weeks, it kind of gives you an idea. If you want to use 4 weeks, it's fine. But keep this in mind. This one candle, that's a weekly, which started from 20th May, shows you the range is still that. You push to the upside, you're still in that range. You didn't go down, you didn't go up. So the easy way for this is you actually put this onto Ranko, which shows you went up, you're coming back down. This is the macro direction, right? So the weekly Ranko shows you the current week is turning negative. So you're looking forward 1 or 2 negative candles before you go up, because this is a new trend line formation. So whenever the Heikin-Ashi and the Ranko forms these red candles, that's where you look for the buying opportunity. And the moment it reverses like this, you are now clear that, okay, that choppy, that correction is over. You are now headed back to the upside. Now, pull up XRP on this. Daily is negative. 3 days negative, but it's starting to show a possible double bottom coming in, not confirmed yet. So you go on a weekly, you're still negative. But what's the difference? Last few times, it was like just one candle to the green and then red. Now you had a difference in momentum. 2 green and then a red. And look at the volume involved during that particular time. That shows something. Someone is buying more and more and more during the price range of what? 0.34 to 0.67. There was a lot of buying activity happening in the market. Now take that to Ether. This is where the altcoin market is now. And I know this hurts, including my portfolio. But that's one of the reasons why I've been giving you the right thought process about not what I think, what the market says. Weekly, Ether is pointing you to the upside. 3-day, Ether is pointing you to the upside. So whenever you get a buying opportunity, you look at that. So what's that range? 3,580 towards 3,800, 3,500 to 3,800. That's a great range for Ether, which is trending higher on a daily, on a 3-day, on a weekly. Money moves from Bitcoin, then you see a lot of small meme coins popping here and there, but then eventually it comes back to Ether. Ether goes up, then it starts rotating into other assets. This is something which we have seen historically. Now, I know the doubts, the thought process is still there, it's confusing. But the overall thought process should be so easy that, okay, remove Ether, remove Bitcoin, separating all of those and taking that amount of data points. Maybe sometimes that's a little bit confusing. That's okay. Let's put this on the total crypto market, because we all agree on one thing. If you don't agree on this, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. And tell me why you don't agree on that. If the crypto market as a whole is trending higher, there would be few popping. Sometimes meme coins, sometimes, crazy gaming coins, sometimes some rare, random small caps, micro caps. Agreed. But the market as a whole is still trending higher. Until that market starts trending back lower, you don't go bearish. Agreed? If you don't, let me know. Now, on that total crypto market, this includes Bitcoin, this includes Ether, this includes every other coin in the market. Daily shows you the direction is to the upside. 3-day shows you the direction is to the upside. It's been like that for some time. So if time is not a barrier for you and price action is what matters for you, this is all that you're looking at. Now, if you want to go to a weekly, you can. If you want to go to a monthly, you can. Remember, it's not time. It's the volatility range which you are separating here on Ranko. So what does the weekly show you? It was trending up. It had a couple of weeks to the downside. But now what is it doing? That green bar on the last end for the total crypto market shows you something. What is it? It is going back to the upside. Why am I saying this? Remember, last time this happened was here. You had another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range candles. So to put that into perspective, the range here was around 6%. And last time that 5 was like 28. Great. Say you want to put that thing into perspective and say, okay, we're going to do somewhat similar. We can do somewhat similar. So the price still continues higher, another 25-30%. And then you try to find another local top. So you put this on the monthly and you're like, whoa, I'm not doing anything here because this thing is going up, 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 up. The range is to the upside. Now, yes, we won't have this amount of patience to play with this market unless you're looking for next 5, 10, 15 years. So you don't use monthly. Most likely, I would say go on a 3-day chart using Ranko. And if you can, and if you're trading, daily is going to be something which you will use. If you have a trade live in this market and you're watching that the market is going up, but your asset is not, that asset is choppy inside this range. That's completely fine. Now, take one random asset for that matter. Say one of the thought processes which we shared earlier when the price was dropping here was this. And then at the breakout here was this. This is going into a FOMO mode. You look at this, it is in the FOMO mode. You put that into a 3-day, it's like, whoa, I've been going up, 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 up. If you bought with the first range close, or at least the second range open, you're already running in this asset to the upside. There would be a lot of different assets in this market which can easily be used when it's going up just using this. Now, say you want a little bit of time factor too in this. Put that on a Heikin Ashi. Now, we do all these analysis, plus the pattern, the trend, the time series, the waves, everything possible to understand the best odds. And that's what I share here in the SI family. If you want to join, use the link in the description below in YouTube or in the bio of Twitter. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet and you received some value from this video, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.